an invite over to Bobby, and then we will be off to the races. A little bit too early in the season to be stressed by the NBA, honestly. A little annoying, but it is what it is. Nope. Oh my God, Stace. Come here. Sorry, guys, some house cleaning. You know? Look. Who's in it? What's going on, Bobby? What's happening?
What are these little whisperer things? What do we get with the whispering?
Nothing, just domestic issues.
Oh, okay. Well,
nothing bad. Just some internal gossip in Sheets World. Nothing to impact the slate in any way.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I already threw me out.
Let's talk about things that might impact the slate. All right.
We're going straight into it. We're not even going to talk about golf for a minute.
I only have a half an hour.
All right, let's go.
Marcus Morris ruled out for Friday just now. Monty Williams said that Cam Payne was able to do a little more activity than DeAndre Ayton at practice, whatever that means.
Oh, great. This is when reading the tea leaves can get you in trouble. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, like the more you know, the worse off you are.
Josh Richardson ruled out.
I feel stronger and stronger, and this may not work. If you're playing on DraftKings, especially.
Wait, Donovan Mitchell ruled out.
Great. All right, so hitting us with a bang at once. Let's revisit that game.
I need a few minutes. I promise you that my comments.
I expected the Donovan Mitchell to be ruled out. Okay, I expected
Royce, I'm reading the stuff off as it comes up. Royce O'Neal available.
Okay. So I'm going to point something out. You can do with it what you will. I'm going to say that last year when Mitchell was out, you didn't see this giant boost from Ingles. When Conley was out, you did see the giant boost from Ingles. So Ingles is still going to be a terrific play. I'm not going to say don't play Ingles. I'm just throwing that out there as a piece of information. Okay, do with it what you will. Utah is going to try to fight in this game. This is not a spot. This is a regular season dominant team. Mike Conley and Jordan Clarkson, although it's very hard for me to see those two playing together for that long, are both super interesting, obviously. I think we have to treat Bogdanovich like he's not going to play, right?
Bojan or Bogdan?
Bogdan. Downgraded to questionable midday, not a great look. DeAndre Hunter, as much as I said things, when you eliminate Bogdanovich potentially and Collins potentially, DeAndre Hunter becomes a phenomenal play.
Well, as long as we're speculating, how about they made Embiid a game time decision?
Embiid says he intends to play. When Embiid says he intends to play, he plays.
All right.
That's my take on that. Look, I'm open to being wrong. The good news is you definitely have subs. There's not other guys. Just don't have all your games end at 7:30 Eastern time. You'd be making a giant mistake, in my opinion. When obviously you're going to have Anthony Davis, you're going to have some Russell Westbrook. There's no way you can avoid these guys, at least one of them, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
I think you should be playing at least one of them. We also have Lou Dort, who's questionable.
Lovely.
The scary thing is you have to turn him into Kent Bazemore. But the good thing is now you have a stackable game that you can play late, right? Like that's what we should be looking at. What can we do late? So you're going to have to not make your decisions until after everything. We got the LeBron news early today. Sorry for LeBron. Unfortunate that it's happening. Hope the Lakers can go on a run without him.
What happened?
But he's out for a week.
Oh,
minimum.
that's just a week. All right.
Minimum. But, they're going to be careful with LeBron. They've got an easy schedule, including this game. But now that game becomes much more stackable, considering if anybody doesn't remember, on the back-to-back the Lakers had last time, they were up by 26 on this team. I think it was like 40-14. It wasn't like 26 where it was like, oh, they pulled away from some hot shooting. It looked like the OKC would not get to like 50 points in the game. And then all of a sudden, OKC came back and won the game. Okay.
Right.
So I'm getting much, much more into stacking that game. The problem is you also have Lou Dort, who's questionable, which would open up Kenrich Williams at 3,200 on DraftKings. So you've got a lot to speculate on, and you're going to have to speculate no matter what. And even though LeBron's out, and I genuinely expect Davis to play, it's not like against the rules that Davis would be a late decision scratch. So just keep that stuff in mind.
Yeah, it would be a good time to try it too, I think.
Maybe it didn't work last time, even without LeBron, with just these two. Westbrook tore up the first half, and so did Davis. And then the second half, they were not to be seen or heard from. They actually rested Davis a lot of the first half because they were running away, and I think it took the team out of their group. So Mitchell, okay, what does that mean for us?
What does that mean to the average man?
Conley on FanDuel is going to be a tough guy not to play, especially because we have Atlanta question marks with Bogdanovic, which is the one I really think matters. I mean, Atlanta to win the game, guys, if you can get the bet in right now, I would like to take that bet. They're 3-point underdogs at home. Even if Collins and Bogdanovic sit, that doesn't equal one Donovan Mitchell. The other part is that Trae Young, without Collins alone, goes crazy. Without Bogdanovic on top of it, that could be serious business. But more importantly, is it maybe Kevin Huerter time again? It's a very tough situation. So I want to wait for some projections to recalculate. I
would bet on the other guy, Reddish.
I'm fine with Reddish.
As opposed to Huerter.
Yeah, I think that I'm fine with Reddish. As I said, I definitely am. I don't know why he's a better play than Huerter. I actually think I might side with Huerter on this one. Huerter's good, man. This is an interesting game. These are all interesting slates. So Cheech, do you want to maybe try something different and maybe try to go break down game by game, but we'll skip the games we feel like there's question marks on? I don't have a ton. I don't think frickin' Korkmaz. You know what? This is going to be really hard. I don't think Korkmaz is going to play.
You don't think Korkmaz is going to play?
Well, he was a midday downgrade.
Oh, he's a midday downgrade too?
But in all fairness, he's the midday downgrade that I could see playing more than these other guys. But if he downgrades, then we are back into the Shake Milton, Thibault. I don't know how many minutes he can play, but he'll play all of them. Maxey, all of these Philly guys are going to be super interesting. The thing is, we still aren't going to know probably is about DeAndre Ayton. I want to speculate for a second, and please humor me because this is going to sound like craziness, but we've gotten this stuff right a few times in the past. And if you're going to get a free roll on a slate because a team protests or something like that, there is a possibility tonight in Phoenix.
What are you talking about?
There's a huge report about Robert Sarver, the owner of the Suns, who's always been the cheapest bastard around, won't pay his players. It's a Gruden thing on a much larger scale, but it's also it's not the NFL, so they don't know what they can do with it. There's a million things about sexual harassment, about a lot of racism inside the front office that's been a broken story today. Chris Paul, oddly enough, was on the team the last time this happened when he played for the Clippers. So I'm trying to find anything I can out of this. Like, our job is to try to figure out the best things we can do today. And I went from being a zero interest in Chris Paul to actually having some interest here. I don't think the problem is the most other hated owner is Houston, but they're playing in Phoenix anyway. So whatever it is, but there will be some sort of a peaceful protest, some sort of a thing before the game starts. I can almost assure you that. Maybe there's going to be a symbolic uniform thing. I don't know. They did it before when it was the Clippers with Don Sterling. It's a weird situation that I just think is worth paying attention to. They're not going to sit out. I don't think that a boycott is what we're going to see. I'm just throwing it out there that there is a lot of talk about this, and it's the first time in a while that there's, something to fight for. So if you get a late scratch from a Phoenix player, it probably won't be Frank Kaminsky. Everybody else, I wouldn't surprise me. So just beware of that. And DeAndre Ayton's already questionable as it is. Does that make sense? Am I resonating with anybody out there? Because if you pay attention,
not to say it in the wrong way. I literally have no idea what you're talking about. So I've been ignorant on this whole thing.
Yeah, it'll come out. You'll see it much more over the next few days than you do today. It's the early version. The same way that I thought the early version of the Gruden story sounded very thin. I didn't know about first of all, I didn't know they'd go through all of his emails, which is a whole separate conversation. I hate Gruden and all this stuff, and it's disgusting. But at the same time, not really sure where you draw the line of going through everyone's personal information and every conversation they've had and deciding whether or not that makes them whatever. It's crazy. But when you're talking about stuff like what's happening with Sarver right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see Phoenix do something. I don't know what that means yet entirely. Everything it tells me is just keep waiting, Bobby, to keep waiting for the later games. As long as you can procrastinate an extra little bit, try to go that far. Try to keep it going. Try to just wait for the later games. We have a couple automatic plays an automatic play in the early game. Cade Cunningham is an automatic play. I don't think there's a world I see that I would not be playing Cade Cunningham. Whether it works or not, you guys can at me. That's fine. Cade Cunningham is a lock. There's no lineups I will make on either site without playing Cade Cunningham. I'm going to take that stance till I die. Other than that, I have a lot of question marks with Philly. So I would like to see what happens in that game in terms of Korkmaz playing. I do think Embiid will play. I do think that Embiid will play less minutes. However, if they're in trouble, maybe not. Really, it's a matter of what does that mean to us. So do we think that Shake Milton on the back-to-back after all the stuff, even though I was speculating on it earlier, the guy doesn't play more than 20 minutes, would it be him? Because we have no Isaiah Joe now anymore either. He's out with COVID protocol. So if Korkmaz is in fact out too, that Sixers rotation could get really tight really fast, and you probably will want some pieces of that first game.
Well, I've got good news.
Go ahead.
I've got good news for me. The good news for me is that is that I have to leave in 15 minutes. So I'm gonna miss probably some stuff that happens. And last time I scrambled to do this, I won the Monster. So I have really, really good. So I'm in good shape tonight. I'm gonna probably miss some stuff, but I'll be back in time for the 10 o'clock stuff. But I'm gonna miss, like, if there's some late Philly stuff that comes in, I'm definitely gonna miss that. So what do I got to do? I got to probably take Korkmaz out, right?
I think that would be suicide to play Korkmaz. Well, you'll get the text before then. You can at least swap him out, but I wouldn't be playing Korkmaz.
I'm just gonna take him out. I'll make it nice and easy.
I mean, it's not like he's like a lock anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, you know.
No. I mean, if he was 3K, that's a tough takeout. You know, I mean, like,
right.
But it does. Thibault, who I'm very skeptical on as a DFS player, love him, would give anything for him to be a Laker. As a real player, I think is much more in play. But I really think if Shake Milton, if they let the leashes off of this guy, it could be just an absolute monster game. I also think Maxey, it's a huge thing for him. It's a huge thing for Niang. It's a big thing for Curry, who no one will play tonight. All of those guys rate as really, really strong plays.
And did you mention Maxey?
Maxey, yeah. I would rate it as benefiting, well, Niang the most, Shake Milton the second most, but with the highest upside probably. Well, it's close between he and Niang.
And you think Embiid plays limited minutes tonight?
I don't think it's going to be limited. I think they're going to try to watch them. They've done a pretty good job with him so far. Hasn't played a back-to-back yet. So it's hard to know what they're going to do with him. He played 34 minutes last night, but they really did limit those minutes. Like, he could have easily played 40 minutes in the game last night for a superstar. He was playing terrible. He's been terrible, by the way, this year, in all fairness. But it's going to be hard because you take Korkmaz, that's just another creator. At the same time, Shake Milton and Maxey are probably slightly better creators than Korkmaz is. It just tightens the rotation. But if he's not going to play more minutes, how much does it really tighten it? And does Paul Reed and Andre Drummond, do they get just more minutes, which we don't need to consider playing them? But it's just a matter of how they decide to give out the minutes. I think Philly's still trying to prove something. I think this is actually going to be a harder game than they think. And I think that Thibault, this is a good matchup for him. I especially think Thibault on FanDuel, where at 4,400, because of the steal, like, this guy is a steal block machine. He really is. So that's the first decision you have to make is, like, do I want to play Thibault on FanDuel? Do I want to play Thibault or do I want to play DeAndre Hunter? And I love DeAndre Hunter now. I did not before because we had John Collins and Bogdanovich there. You take those guys out of there, all of a sudden, not only is it more minutes, it's more rebounds because Collins is out. You have Capella on a back-to-back against Gobert. You have a lot of things that are telling you now to play DeAndre Hunter. And now, instead of having any Lou Dort action in the late game and waiting to find out, I'm going to practice what I preach, and I'm going to play Thibault. I just think Thibault on FanDuel is a much better play than he is on DraftKings in general. I mean, look at this guy's stock numbers. Look at him against a really sloppy team too in general.
Yeah, I have 50% of him on FanDuel.
He's an awesome play. Dort is a similar category guy. I think I might be leaving money on the table on FanDuel actually tonight. Wow. It's like I'm down to Shea versus Booker, but do I want Booker in a game that I think blows out, or do I want Shea to stay in a game that I think stays tight? It's a little, or a game that I'm stacking a little bit.
All right, so these are the guys I have to. So so you're thinking we have no news on Collins, right? That's what I was going to say. Okay.
I want to wait. I'm just gonna. It sucks that you have to leave right then because I'm waiting for the things to update because I'm curious about Utah.
What do you think of KJ Martin?
I'm into it. I like it. Okay. I don't like that I like it though. I don't think it's right. I think I'm like maybe being stubborn because it's a later game, so I'm siding with him on DraftKings right now over probably a better play in Thibault.
I have another question. Given the slate or whatever, would you, or I'd say could you, play Anthony Davis and Westbrook together?
Of course.
Okay.
I feel like that should be your basic build.
Okay. That's what I had that like all over the place on FanDuel.
Yeah, you should start. In my opinion, if you're starting your lineups on FanDuel, you start with those two guys.
Okay. And
Cade Cunningham.
I think that Mike Conley's a tough. I think Mike Conley's kind of a priority too.
He is. The awesome thing is that we can pivot off of Mike Conley and play Jalen Green. I'm just saying. I'm trying to figure it out on DraftKings because I actually think that I might fade Conley on DraftKings.
Huh?
It feels wrong. Like he feels like he should be.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that.
I'm gonna do it. I think.
Yeah,
Um,
I go. I mean, I'll root. I'll root.
It depends on how much ownership he gets. Like
He's gonna get a ton. I mean, like I think
6,300.
I think well, maybe not as much as on FanDuel, obviously, but dude, Ingles at 4,600. What's he gonna be? 50%?
This is what I mean, though, is what everyone's gonna do and what we should try and find
No,
ways.
I know.
Well, it doesn't like obviously benefit Bogdanovich, maybe with the usage part of it. There just is a certain number of shots, and Donovan Mitchell takes 25 of them. All of these guys are going to take more shots. Jordan Clarkson is probably the easiest solution to this on DraftKings. I really wish Royce O'Neal wasn't out either, so we could have a really tough conversation. And we'd be talking about Eric Pascal at 3K.
Your timing is impeccable.
What?
She'll tell you after. No.
So my main lineup on DraftKings, I'll just say what I'm doing at the moment. Unfortunately, I don't have any Jazz players, which is probably a mistake. Can I get away with this? The only player I have in the early games is Thibault. I want to see who's starting. I'm just playing the delay game again. We have a huge break between the first batch and the last games, but the 7:30 games are what I'm trying to do. So Conley, Ingles, Bogdanovich. You know what the answer? Like, if Royce O'Neal is going to play, maybe Royce O'Neal is the answer.
Could be.
It's a really weird one, but I feel like he'll get more. Like, it's not like he's going to. I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling on DraftKings. FanDuel's a little bit easier.
Yeah, what I'm doing for all you guys before I leave is I'm abandoning my own play for the benefit of the people. I'm going to be updating these projections right now. I'll take like 5 minutes to do it, and then if I have time, I'll do my stuff. But
So what if Ayton's out?
I'll be back.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, in general.
Oh, then same guys as yesterday. I mean, you got to McGee, maybe
You
Kaminsky.
got to leave a lot of spots in there.
Right, that's true.
What if in the next however many minutes we get the information that the Atlanta guys are out, both Collins and Bogdanovich?
It's tough.
Man, this is not for. So let's just start with one game. Okay, so for Philadelphia, nobody is a lock, in my opinion. If we get news before lock that somehow Embiid and Korkmaz are out, or one of them, if Korkmaz is out, I'm going to be all over Maxey and Thibault with maybe some Milton and Yang. But I don't think I'm going to do it all together in a game stack. I think I'm just going to pick a little bit of that, like one or two pieces. I do like Embiid for what it's worth, especially on FanDuel. And then you want Cade Cunningham. But there's a lot of information that's going to dictate the slate that's not going to happen for a long time.
No. NBA is a tough sport.
I mean, even Campaign being out or in. Like, if you have Campaign and DeAndre Ayton out, then you can expect similar usage from Chris Paul.
That is true. We talked about Campaign earlier today. That is a very important point.
Yeah, and it was a good point that you made because that was one thing that people tend to overlook on big slates, including myself.
I'm gonna do one more projection on it. This now is a confidence of a 4 instead of a 1, which I had earlier. That's something. Let's see.
You want to know what maybe we do a little bit of? This is so crazy.
Hang on, I gotta do this.
All right, I'll just say this: if Embiid is out, don't even question. And it's going to sound obvious. Oh, play Drummond. Drummond is 6,500. I'll tell you right now, if Embiid is out, play Drummond. Now it's in Detroit too, on top of everything else. Drummond is going to absolutely go nuts in this game. He'll probably go nuts on a point per minute basis anyway. He's just too expensive to play. I almost wish this was a later game I could speculate, but Embiid, when he says he intends to play, he doesn't usually he's usually on that one.
But I think I would like to do with Embiid is X him out and hope he plays. That's what I would.
Okay.
That's what I would.
Okay.
Like.
Okay.
I'll take your word for it that maybe they don't want him to play that much and he'll try to play and then they'll get a lead and then they'll move out of it. That'll be my probably what I'll do. That looks good. And then this looks good. Hold on. Yeah, that's fine.
I think that you do want, I'm going to answer some questions. I think you do want to eat the Conley chalk on FanDuel for the most part. I don't love saying it because I think there are other angles, but he's 5,200. I mean, and it's not like it's a matchup where they're going to maybe Bogdanovich could get hot, maybe Ingles gets hot, maybe Clarkson gets hot. That's the only way that it doesn't work out for him. And even then, he still probably gets there. Clarkson and Conley is probably where you should start. You're playing a cash game on FanDuel. If you start with Conley, Clarkson, Westbrook, and Davis, in my opinion, you could throw Cade Cunningham into that mix too. But those are the guys you would start a lineup with.
Yeah. So in case you guys want to look at them, I did update stuff, but there's just so much news coming out that it's literally the best I can do. It's probably not good enough, but it is what it is.
Thanks for what you're doing, though. Appreciate it.
And I would promise you that I will be back for the I don't want to lock him in anymore. Okay. I'll promise I'll be back after the after whatever Suns news comes out. I'll show you guys what I'm doing here at least. I'm going to be changing my DraftKings lineups based on what I have here, and I'll let you know at least what I have. I mean, not the actual things, but my ownerships. And I almost promise you I'm going to probably have 100 of what's his face of the Cunningham guy. I probably should X him out too, right? Yeah. Wait, let's put
this is hard.
Conley. That's what I did wrong here. Ingles. Gobert. One more time.
Just need to figure out this first game.
What, the Detroit game?
Yeah, it's Cunningham. I won't have a lineup without Cunningham still. It's actually going to be really good for Cunningham's ownership that this happened because it's going to make everybody play Clarkson and Conley.
Right.
And Westbrook. It's also going to be really good for Devin Booker's ownership and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Take him out.
I would love a final thing on Philly's lineup before I actually make my decisions because I would love to know if Korkmaz is out. I like Thibault a whole lot more if Korkmaz is out.
Oh, right.
You're talking about 2 extra drives, probably 2 extra 3-point shots, and maybe 3 to 4 extra minutes. That's a huge difference.
3. Yeah, you just need 5 minutes. I think I'm gonna have 100 of Cunningham. I don't think it's going to affect his ownership at all. I think he's still going to be really popular.
How do they play all of them though? There's 3 automatic spots on FanDuel: Westbrook, Conley, Clarkson.
Oh, I was looking at DraftKings first. Yeah, Cunningham still got insane amount of what's his name, of Bam.
Right. I have 3 players from Philadelphia in my main lineup on FanDuel. I don't have any Bam.
Okay.
I'm just stuck in. I mean, I'm playing Westbrook and Davis.
Well, when you X out Embiid, that's what you get sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So I am playing Embiid on FanDuel. On DraftKings.
That was on DraftKings, by the way, that I was talking about, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. All right, here's some news. Embiid is in.
Okay.
Embiid's gonna go now.
Just one sec. Anything on Collins? No,
No.
that stinks.
So on DraftKings, my early lineup is only from the first game, guys. Is only Cunningham and Thibault on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I do have Thibault currently in there because he allows me to get to Bridges. I'm not sure that's right. I'm going to edit that one a little bit. I'm going to try and see if I can find something a little bit better. Feels really wrong to say when we have all this value to play Thibault, but on FanDuel in this matchup, it's.
You know, I have 100 of on FanDuel. I have 100 of. I have 100 of Anthony Davis. That's who I have 100 of.
Me too. Yeah, I think we're assuming right now that. No, we're not assuming Cork Mazda. Wow. How much Yang do you have between sites?
I don't know if I have any.
Really?
I don't think so. I don't know. Let's see. This is such a freaking scramble. This is stupid. But we're gonna do it anyway.
You're fine. You're fine.
I know. Just
Think about playing Royce O'Neal instead of Thibault.
yeah.
Hey, it's a way to get different.
Yeah, that's good.
Trying to find something different here. And also, I could play Reddish with him if we get the news. I don't know about the production here.
Where are you playing? Where are you playing Yang? DraftKings or FanDuel?
FanDuel more.
What position is he?
Which one? Sorry, I got distracted by my line.
What position is he?
Who?
Yang?
Oh, he's power forward, small. Is he power forward, small forward? No, I think he's just power forward.
All right, guys. Unfortunately, I have to go. Good luck, everybody. And
good luck.
What?
Sorry. I was just answering the last question I saw. Carmelo is in play.
Collins and Bogdanovich are both warming up on the floor at State Farm Arena.
There goes. You don't have to play Thibault as much.
You don't have to play Thibault as much?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with it?
I'm sorry, not Thibault. Jeez. Hunter.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna get going.
Good luck, guys. I'll be in Discord.
Okay, sounds good. I know I gotta find this.
Good luck, Sheets.
Thanks.